That's Arnie and Billy, who's sleeping over tonight, and little Bella. Some friends to keep her entertained. There he goes, and they're already on the TV remote. And if he takes it, he's not going to give it back. And then I'm going to have my hands full, and I'm going to have to get a new remote because he takes out those buttons in just a few seconds. He's probably going to get upset now if I take it, but I'm going to take it in anyway. Little Bella, she is just learning still about remote controls, and soon she will realize the wonderful things that they are. Now I have to take this away. Let's see that. And I'm rather going to give him something to eat. Now, Arnie, wie's 'n babatjie is dit? Joune. Duncan. Okay, so yesterday Kristy had a bit of a problem. It was almost like she had a light heart attack and she couldn't walk. And we picked her up and took her in, and she slept through the night. And during the night she woke up and she was fine. She got up, she drank water, and now right here she is not doing that well. So what I did, I just took one of Whiskey's old pain pills that we still had left, and I dissolved it and I gave it to her in front and back, and I think that is working at the moment. She's not in any pain, but I think I'm going to take her to the vet quickly and just get an opinion on what could be wrong, because I see she's quite white inside her ears. It could even be biliary. We call it borstleyskoors in South Africa, and that is when the gums, just look at that, she's quite old. She's 14 years old, but we're quickly going to take her to the vet and see what they can do. But she was in pain, and her lower part is a bit swollen, so it could even be stomach, because if I just press lightly there, I think she's not reacting anymore. But and it's not hard, just look at that. So yeah, let me get going. Okay, she's loaded and we're on our way to the vet. Okay, so we're on our way to the vet. She's still doing fine, and yeah, she's not waving her tail, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure she's gonna be fine, and I'm not gonna leave her at the vet because she is a little different in that way. She's not one of those dogs that you just leave anywhere. And, yeah, let's see what happens. Getting off the freeway. Our roads are actually very nice on the freeways. You can see Johannesburg there, right there on the horizon. And the vet is right here in front. One thing about this vet, they're always open. They've got quite a few doctors there, so whenever you show up, they are able to help you. And if you think about it, every time that you have a dog that or a cat that something is wrong, it's an emergency. So yeah, that helps quite a lot that they are always open. Okay, she's still okay, and I can just see less color on her, and that means there's less blood flow. But we're gonna get her checked out now. I remember the last time that she was at the vet. That was 13 to 14 years ago. I'll just check exactly to make sure. And she got her little inoculation, her first one, and she only had one. And I remember We took her, she was in the car and the back window was open while we had the other dog, I can't remember which one it was, also there. And she was screaming in the car and she was shouting and she was not letting up. She was just making sure that we knew she was there and she was fine all the time. And it took a while, but eventually we got back to the car while hearing her the whole time. And that was the last time she ever went to the vet. And yeah, she's not one of those dogs that you can take and just pick up. It doesn't work like that. So this is the first time that I am able to work on her. Even if you look at her toenails, look how long her toenails are. Of course, it's just not possible to do it. And gonna be doing a lot of stuff on her today, and we're gonna get her sorted out. Okay, so 2 doctors checked her out and they think it might be a spleen that might be bleeding, because she's got very little blood and her temperature is fine, so the blood is disappearing somewhere. But what we're going to do is give her some pain medication, and we're going to check it, because if they have to take her into the theater right now, she's not going to make it. And yeah, so we're going to take her home. I'm not going to leave her here. I told them that she is a bit of a feisty dog. She's a very strong dog, and if she feels better, it might be a problem. So gonna take her home and just pamper her, and let's see, maybe she gets better, because she did eat well and everything, but she is in pain. And luckily I did give her that pain pill already, so we'll just do whatever we can. Okay, so I carried her back to the car. I did carry her to that little garden where Whiskey was always walking, and I pushed her against the tree and she smelled the tree. She looked at the cars and things, and brought her back here to load her up. And they did give her some medication to stop any bleeding, because the doctor is concerned that she might be bleeding in her spleen, and there might be a growth on the spleen, and that is where the problem comes from. But he did treat her. He gave her some pain medication. He gave her that bleeding prevention medicine, and we'll check her out. And yeah, let's see what happens. And we're back home. She's doing better. She looks much better than a while ago. So she notices that she's back home. Oh, we'll be loading her out right now. I don't think she's going to be able to do it by herself. Well, at least she's drinking water. And this is Sharky. Now I can show you guys Sharky. And he is a funny dog. I think of all these dogs, he's the funniest one of the lot. Kristy is drinking water. And this is Hope. They're actually so friendly, but I don't get a chance to make a video of them most of the time. But you can see that Kristy is not doing that great. She's still sitting. She's very weak. But let's see. I've seen this before. If they make it, they make it. And then they heal straight up. But we'll just keep an eye on her, pamper her as much as we can. And yeah, there's Sharky going. Looking good. And this is Bobby right here. He is one fat cat. He's the fattest cat I've seen in my life. She's definitely doing better. She wants to lie on the blanket. This is a heavy dog. I can see her midsection as it's hanging. She is absolutely huge and very heavy. Actually not that huge, just heavy. Don't know how to explain it, but yeah. We'll just see. She's looking much better than before. Even Sharky thinks so. Sharky! That is a joke, Sharky. Okay, so we're back with Kristy. She is doing much better, but anything can happen. We're not really sure exactly, but we're going to observe everything she does, and we are going to make sure that she is fine. And one thing you have to know, when you've got so many dogs and cats and all kinds of animals, some will pass away. There's nothing you can do about it. It is normal, it is abnormal if it did not happen. And if I have to think back and still have every single animal that I had before, well, you will not be able to walk in this place, because I would have had a lot. And let's say I had 500 animals. Where will you put them? So they all get a chance to live a good, healthy life. And when they start getting old, you have to realize that this is now how it is. And it's making space for newer ones that are being born. And they have to go somewhere as well. But I think you can't really compare it to when a human, a mother, a father or a child passes away. Because this is easy to understand. But then there comes a time when you realize that all of these animals have only got a certain time to live. Let's say 20 years for a cat, because I've had cats that live 20 years. And a dog, I'd say about 15 years is reasonable. But that last part is a bit of suffering. It becomes a big problem. And I've seen a lot of people losing a lot of animals. And sometimes they are not able to cope with it. And they are really destroyed. Look at Siamese cat there. He's one of the family now. But yeah, you have to understand that this happens. But life goes on. And it's just an expiry date on the body that they are using. That's it. But sometimes it's a bit hard. I think most of the time it's a bit hard. And people don't see reason, and they're angry. And they want answers. Now, one thing that you have to understand is an answer is something that you either have or you're not going to get it. That is how it works in this world. And even if someone tells you something about it, you will probably not believe it if you had to hear, well, something, whatever it might be. So we take it and we move on. But we don't stop. We can keep on going. I mean, when I had Ozzy, I had a lot of trouble with Ozzy. People don't know how much I had to go through with him because he needed a lot of attention. And now you're trying to give a lot of attention to something where killing comes naturally to. It's dangerous. And on the other hand, he's so sweet and he's amazing. And I know myself. I did do a lot of things that helped him. But eventually, we had to face the facts. He did not have a proper start in his life. And yes, if he was in the wild, he would have been off much better. But he wasn't. We got him, and there was something wrong with him. And we had to fix him. But it wasn't fixable. It was too late. And then, when he passed away, it was very heartbreaking because everybody's got this expectation that he's going to be just fine. But then, knowing myself and the things that I get in my life, I couldn't understand, but how could he have died? He should have just healed up, because that's how it works in my life. And I was thinking about it for a while, and then eventually came, I just stepped on his tail. Okay, in any case, let's try again. And then eventually, here comes Diego. And Diego is absolutely perfect. And he replaces Ozzy. And I started raising him. And you know how the personalities on a tiger differs. It differs completely. They are not, if you have to make them look according to their personalities, they will not be tigers, because they are totally different. And here I got Ozzy, or here I've got Diego, and they are exactly the same personality. Now, like I said before, when you ask a question, there's so much in a question. So I don't want to ask questions, because that will show what I know. But then I realized that I might just have Ozzy back right here. And this time he's perfectly healed, and he's in better condition than any other tiger out there. He is perfect. Now I remember when Ozzy had his curved legs to the outside. When Diego was born, he had the curved legs to the inside, because that spirit carried the memory of the legs on the outside. So the correction needed to be done in a way where the spirit memory will not influence the body as it's growing. Because remember, that body is growing from nowhere. It's just information that tells a lot of cells to accumulate in the right sequence, and there you have the tiger. But with that soul telling it that it's got legs that curve outwards, he would have had legs that curved outwards again. But the correction was applied, and the legs curled inwards when he was little. When they run away from you, you can see certain characteristics on a tiger. And the only way Diego was able to run, or so I call him Ozzy, was to skip like a bunny, to jump. And that is still how Diego runs. So, the only tiger that I actually put my hand in his mouth to chew me was Ozzy. And I have to say, Diego did it for a long time. It's just because I put him inside by Enzo, and he still used to do it just the other day. And I should actually try it again. But there's so many characteristics that shows me that Ozzy is back, and he is Diego. A lot of people might not believe that, but I finally figured out how it should have been handled, and that is how it should have been handled. So think about that, and I'll discuss this again in another video. I hope this is not too much, But I have learned these tigers, and I know their personalities. And I know Ozzy, and I know Diego, and it is the same soul. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'll tell you about Pikkie as well. Have a good day.